It's been a little while, but I'm still here. I'm doing well. I've just been living life. I am at my destination, the one that I've been talking about for a while now, and making references to and allusions and just theory crafting, really, about what I was going to be doing, what I was going to be like, and what this area would be like. And not only has it met my expectations, it has exceeded them and surpassed them beyond what I could have possibly known in advance. So, a person can be told only so many things, but it's the living it and experiencing it for themselves that you really are able to, make a honest evaluation. And you know, that's putting it a little bit seriously, but there I go. But I am no longer in a hotel. I'm no longer on the road. I am grounded here. This is my landing pad. And this is where I'm going to be for the foreseeable future. And I'm not alone. And the next move, it's like if we move from this location, it'll be somewhere else together. And it's been a few days since I've recorded or posted anything of any kind. Because I've been busy living and exploring and being shown. I've been getting a tour of my new home and all the different things that are available and sights and scenes and I've been building up and learning all over again my environment that I find myself in, that I've chosen to be in and a part of, to complement another person's life. And so I've been doing a lot of internal navigating and creating a mental map of the area of how all the intersections work. And yeah, but so far it's just been myself and one or two other people that I've been getting to know, and how we interact in the dynamics. And I was nervous ahead of time because I had only known them remotely, long distance. But now I'm getting to know them in person, first person, close distance. And yeah, it is working out. I had no reference or to really know in advance that it would work out the way that it's working out. I just had a sense that somehow it just would, based on our communications up to whatever point it just seemed like, felt like, and I believed it. And yeah, there was just some, just to get to know each other a little bit, to see how we are. But it's like testing, and it's like so it's like it's yeah, we're moving right along, and yeah, I think we're getting along famously, as the phrase goes, or as I understand it. And yeah, so I've been here for a couple days now, and the weather is mostly cooperating, but it is kind of as I was told in advance to expect. It's kind of rainy, cloudy, and but it's seasonably normal for this part of the world, for this time of the year, at this latitude and longitude, this coordinate plane. And yeah, so I've already, in just a short amount of time, I've seen a lot of the local sites. Not nearly. I mean, there's a lot more, but I've gotten an idea, and an introduction, and an orientation. And where we go from here, I don't know. We're playing it by ear and just taking it one day at a time. And whatever problems or miscommunications we have had been extremely minor and temporary. And we've had a limited amount of experience with some difficulties and little circumstances. And that could have been worse, but together able to navigate and diffuse and work things out so they didn't, they worked out favorably. And so it's like, okay, well, we're troubleshooting things together, problem solving things together. And I think all signs point to yes, and outlook looks good, to borrow from the phraseology of the Magic 8 Ball, which I had when I was a kid, but I never really took seriously or relied on for advice or making choices. But it was just a novelty, and for entertainment purposes only. But still, it was cool. I liked it. Do not shake Magic 8 Ball, because the water gets all foamy and it doesn't really settle ever. So, anyway, I hadn't done a recording in a while, and I felt like I needed to do a recording. And I'm here after all this time, and I like it, and I'm gonna stay. And I knew I would. And I'm even beginning to feel like, even though this is not when I, it didn't feel exactly like home when I got here, but I kind of knew I would take some time to get used to things and check things out, and just begin to feel like this is, as much my home as it is theirs. And I have, I'm wanted, and I am allowed, and I have my own permission, and it continues to be a series of firsts. So it's like yesterday I went for my first jog together with them, and it was just a short little scouting run, reconnaissance run, just kind of mapping the neighborhood. At least for me, it's mapping. And just also, I hadn't run with somebody in like a long time. And so that was kind of trying to remember, trying to take into account having somebody with me, and like, watching and making sure that we're both in agreement on turns and speed and pacing, and then relying on them for navigation, because they're used to this area, so they know where turnarounds are and where traffic is, and density of traffic and stuff like that. I like to run on lesser populated roads with less traffic and less people, and less intersections too, where you're constantly having to adjust your pace and moving off of sidewalk onto roads, or stuff like that. But anyway, this is already getting to be longer of a recording than I had at first thought, because I just wanted to check in. And I don't ever really expect very many people, if any, to get to this point in a video, because the attention span of most people that accidentally click on these videos, I think, is about 1 to 2 minutes. And then it's like, yeah, he's talking about something. And I don't give an introduction, and I don't give any sort of, cliff notes about what the video is about or what I'm going to have talked about. Because if you want to know, you got to watch the whole thing. And if you want to know why I'm talking about it or who I am, it's like there's a backstory, and it's all explained in the hundreds of hours that have already been recorded. And I can't explain it. I'm not going to, because it's exhausting. And to catch up anybody up to speed would just take too long. But if you are here and you are listening, welcome. And the story continues. And I can't explain what the story is. It's life. It's my life. And why am I telling it? Because I'm keeping a record for me, so I can look back on things and try to remember. It's like taking pictures. Just looking back on them from time to time about what I was doing when, and who I was at the time, and what I was thinking and how I was feeling. And, whether I ever look back on this ever again, it's like, who Who knows? But I like to know that it's there, and I could. It's preserved, just like a photo album, and it just lets anybody else know that it's okay. Whatever it is that they are doing, at whatever point they are in their life, and whoever they are, what the situation is, it's like, it's okay. And it's like, the only thing sometimes that I think that I'm doing a little bit different than a lot of people is I'm recording it, just the nothing. It's a lot of it's, because other people might look at it and just think that it's nothing. But to me, it's my life, and it does have meaning, even if it doesn't have any, meaning to other people. Well, it's like, to each their own, and beauty and truth is in the eye of the beholder. And I like to think that every so often I say something that might strike a chord with somebody else, or maybe I say something that they haven't heard before. It might be like something that I've known or heard, or I'm just repeating something that I heard, but I think is cool. I didn't come up with it. I didn't. I'm sure it's been thought of many times before, because a lot of times it's like nothing that I say is really brand new. It might be new to me, but it's not brand new, because the things that I talk about and the things that I think about are the same things that people have puzzled and pondered over for millennia. And there is no answer, and no one ever gets to an ultimate conclusion, because as soon as a person does, they stop investigating and they stop searching, and then somewhere in the mix they get lost and they wonder what happened and why it happened. And I tend to think it's because they stopped searching. They thought they had arrived at an answer and stopped asking questions. And I think, for me, when we stop asking questions, we stop growing, and we stop becoming who we could be or should be or want to be. We just settle for ourselves, and we just settle for being good enough, and stop trying to expand our horizons or imagine possibilities. Because imagination plays a large role in everything. Imagining the differences of, what I could be doing or what I want to be doing versus what I am doing. Because if I'm unhappy with what I'm doing or where I'm at, it's like if I can't imagine myself out of that situation, then, I begin to feel like a prisoner to it. And I don't think anybody really likes that. So I want to be where I'm at, and I want to be doing what I'm doing. And so that's what I've been doing, is trying to acknowledge that and take action to that effect. And much to my satisfaction, it's working. So it might not be the life of anyone else's understanding, or the life that anyone else would want for themselves, or maybe it doesn't make sense. But it doesn't have to make sense. And, it only has to make some sort of sense to me. And it might be nonsense, but sometimes that's all there is. And there is no more. And maybe it'll make sense later. But things seem to work out. And it's just puzzling how it all just adds up in the end. And I think it's all the little things along the way that it's like you don't understand how, or I don't understand how all those little interactions end up becoming more. But through all those little series of mishaps and mayhems and misfortunes, just having a better attitude and treating other people with respect and courtesy, and since giving them and treating people with sincerity, generosity, consideration, and sensitivity. It's like that's what I want. So I'm just extending that outward, whatever it is that I want to receive from the world. I have to give first, or be willing to show it, or represent it to the best of my ability. Just even if I'm just trying, whether or not I'm succeeding is a completely other matter, because my success is, subjectively arbitrary at times and difficult to, determine. But somehow, even through making mistakes and errors or whatever, it might just be me thinking that I've been doing something wrong, or feeling like I've been, it's like I could be doing better, but that's me being my own critic and my own worst advocate. Whereas if I'm paying attention and doing things to the best of my ability on any given day, given my own personal ability and energy and attention on that day, then it makes a difference. And even if I'm the only one that knows about it, that makes all the difference in the world. It's just feeling as though I have given into the situation what I was able to and appreciated it. And especially if somebody else has been pouring themselves into it to make an effort to, create some experience. It's like just really appreciating it and letting them know that their efforts were, wow, amazing. And just mirroring that back in whatever, sentimental way that I can. Kind of like a, sentimental journey. And I just think it's really, this is just a culmination, a fruition of everything that I've been doing up to this point. And I'm very happy with how things are currently and the direction and trajectory in which they're headed. It's all very exciting. And it might not sound like I'm like over the moon or, but still waters. So, and yeah, it's a decent place, but it works. I don't need that much space. And and my favorite thing about here, one of my favorite things, is that it's just quiet. It's just really the level of noise from traffic and pedestrians, and it's just it's a quality of life improvement. And yeah, so, and I also like the geography and landscape and the closeness of all the different sites and activities that are within within reach, within like an hour of here, or within an hour and a half even. But it's just like completely different topography and climate almost. It's just really, really awesome. And so, anyway, I guess that's all I had to say, which I'm just thrilled to be here. And I feel very, very fortunate to be in the circumstance that I'm in. But I wouldn't say that, luck has anything to do with it. I think that would be, it's not the right word. But I am fortunate. And I feel rather blessed to have arrived at this point and to be surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by. and I'm about to be introduced to an even wider, larger circle. So, so it's just, this is just the beginning, and I am still a little bit nervous about meeting new people, but I'll be okay. And, it'll work out exactly the way that it's going to have worked out, and it is going to have been okay. Because all I have to really do is just be myself and just, yeah. So, anyway, I'm just kind of relaxed and just kind of taking a moment to record some thoughts on this Sunday, March 10th, this spring forward day. And I think it was this first spring forward that I checked the clock this morning on my phone and saw that it was spring forward. And I was not already aware of it in advance, because so many other years I'm always checking in advance, and it's like I know when spring forward is, and I know when fall back is. But this one is like I've already become, and having become able to, temporarily at least, lose track of the days of the week, lose track of the date of the month. Just, it's like, what day is today? What is the date? It's like, and I completely missed spring forward until my phone informed me. I was like, oh, wow. And that was a good feeling, because I didn't have anywhere in particular to be. I'm already at where I want to be, and I'm just home. And this is where I've wanted to be for a long time. And it's just like finding home. And I just know that the last place where I was, I tried to make it home. And for a little while, I could almost trick myself into thinking that it was. I was alone there, and I just didn't ever, it seemed like almost like delusional thinking, that I had to trick myself into thinking that it felt like home. But I was just kind of, and it shows in my past videos that I just, over time, you could see, and I can see it myself, that I was just not happy to be there. And it was my choice to stay, and it was my choice to leave. And I probably, in my opinion, I stayed too long. But as it turns out, if I had stayed as long as I did, I wouldn't have had all the experiences that led to the things that led to, and created the version of myself that said the things, that created the videos, that started the conversation, and led to now. So everything had to happen exactly the way that it did in order to arrive to now. And I'm happy in the now. So it's like everything is necessary. And I'm glad for it, that everything happened the way it did. I wouldn't take anything back. No changes. And we're doing good. So, okay. I am going to go now and just feel glad to have gotten something recorded, even if it doesn't meet my exact specifications of what I was hoping to get recorded. It's what I had available, and it's what I had on my mind. So I think that's the important thing for me, is to continue, to exercise my words and to find out what I'm thinking. Because a lot of times I don't even know what I'm thinking or what I feel about what I think I'm thinking until I just start talking. And then it's like, oh, so that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. And I stumble across feelings that I didn't even know were there. Or at least I have realizations and revelations that are beyond my resting thought stage or level. There's some threshold to realization that I've sometimes been able to breach or cross through the process of talking. And I discover things just by talking. Even if it's just talking to myself, I discover things along the way that I wouldn't otherwise if I was just, doing something else or watching something else. It's like, this is a whole process. And it's my process. And it's like, I think I'm not other people do this too. That's a cool thing. I'm not alone. So there's other people out there that they do this too. The journaling, the vlogging. They probably have larger channels or whatever, but that's never really been a concern of mine because this is for me. This is part of my process. And if people want to watch, they're welcome to. But it's not exactly a condition or a contingent part of it. But I like to show that this is something that's possible, and it's a demonstration that it's all right to be whoever it is you are, or however it is you feel. And, at least in this forum and platform, I can somehow feel some sort of detachment or disassociation from being observed or being in the public eye. Like, it just feels like I'm just alone and talking to myself. Whereas I know after I finish recording this, it is going to be posted, and anyone can watch. It's just in the public view, and it's like, yeah. And I don't tend to keep track after I record these and post them. I don't really keep track of. It's like I don't even remember exactly what I talked about during the video. I'd have to watch it myself to get an idea. So if it's a couple days later or a week later or something, somebody leaves a comment or says something, it's like I don't remember. It's like, so I'd have to go back and watch the video myself to be like, oh, right, I was talking about that, and it was my first video recorded there, and it's like, oh, cool. So I'm creating memories for myself so I can look back on them at some point later. So, and I know I repeat myself in videos, but I never know when I will need a reminder later, and this is the video that I decide to watch. And it's like I need reminders myself, and also if it's somebody that has never seen or gotten this far, and they just happen to leave it on in the background, and they're just listening. It's like it might be new to them. So if I say something I've said hundreds of times, it's like it might be the first time somebody else has heard it. So I feel okay with saying it again and again and again and again and again. And So. And here we are. We've already gotten to nearly half an hour, which is my arbitrary stopping point for most videos, because the longer videos, it's like, it's more for a select audience, I suppose. But most people very rarely ever watch the whole videos anyway. So now it's like this is like my luxury time when I can just talk to break the fourth wall and just talk to, whoever may be watching. It's like, hi, this is me. Inside jokes and stuff. But I should go and get on with the rest of my day and whatever that means. So it's a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.